Welcome to Inside the Red Jacket, the podcast all about Montana FCCLA members, chapters, and advisors working to make a positive difference in their own communities. Stay tuned today as we explore service hours, the different categories of hours, why it's so important to submit those, and how it can be done quick and easy every single time your chapter meets. Stay tuned. Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining me to learn a little bit more about service hours and how they're used in Montana FCCLA. As always, we'll start with mtfccla.org. Then we'll hover over Community Outreach and click on Service Hours. That will take you to a page that begins with a little bit of information about service hours. And one of my favorite spots is the benefits section. So when we record the hours that our students are performing service in the community, we give them some valuable data that they can include when they're applying for scholarships or when they're putting time on a resume as far as volunteering. It also showcases some of the skills that our students are learning when they're in those volunteering situations. So it's really valuable to have all of that documentation in an easy to access format. And we'll talk more about that in just a moment. Our chapters also have that documented time that they can use when they're promoting their chapter in their local communities. An excellent way to showcase the contributions that your students have already given to the community. We also have member awards, and a lot of chapters will recognize the members who are contributing the most service hours. At the state level, we use it to recognize chapters with the Service Hall of Fame in our newsletter 3 times a year, as well as on stage at the State Leadership Conference. Ultimately, though, all of those service hours and the information about the contributions of our members helps Montana FCCLA when we are requesting additional funding through grants and other opportunities for partnerships with organizations that really want to support those kinds of activities in our local chapters. You can see in the table below that there's several different types of service hours. Your volunteering might include direct service, where you're interacting with people who are benefiting from the activity. It might also be indirect, maybe like a food drive, where you're collecting some items that will help other people, but you don't really interact with them directly. Advocacy includes helping other people understand an issue or to bring awareness to a problem. So a lot of times we do that when we create flyers to send home, or maybe a presentation or writing letters about a topic. Leadership is demonstrated when our chapter leaders are planning activities or conducting meetings, as well as when they attend functions designed to help grow their leadership skills. All of the chapter fundraising that takes place in order to support these other activities is also an essential component. And the other types of service sometimes couldn't even happen without that fundraising. So we want to make sure we count that as well. Our students learn so much from work experience that we want to also be sure that we're including that. And this can be work that's paid or unpaid. Lots of career exploration experiences also count in this category. And finally, our last one is the state outreach project. So maybe your chapter is working on a career connection project. It could be the planning, it could be the follow-up, it could be the actual activity. All of those times count in that category. When you're ready to track and submit your hours, there's some different ways that you can go about it. I would suggest you begin by clicking on this tracking template, because if you have one of these available at your chapter meeting, every time you see your students, you're going to have an easy way to document what has happened since the last time that you saw them. And so each student could have their own tracking template. You could do it electronically, or you could print out a copy and hand it to them. Either way, you also have a tab for general service hours, as well as a state outreach project. So you could make a copy of that document, have it in your room, ready to use whenever you need it. In that document, you're going to include what type of activity has taken place. Notice if it happened with another CTSO that you can only report to one CTSO to count those hours. We'll also have some activities that have more than one type of service. So when that happens, you'll want to split those hours between the different types of service. And then ultimately, we want you to be able to report those once a month. So there's a handy link right here on the website where you can report those service hours. And in an effort to make it easy for our students, they can also scan that QR code and easily access that form from their phone as well. And we also have a separate form where you can report your state outreach project involvement. So that's a little bit about Montana FCCLA and service hours and how we use them. In 2024-25, our members documented over 18,000 hours of service hours. So we want to make sure that we stay on track and maintain that tradition. Don't forget to report your service hours and submit those. Thanks so much, everybody, and have a great day.